Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my review for Uncanny X-Force #1 and Taskmaster #2 of 5. I'm going to do Taskmaster first, since this is like a mini-series, and this is going to be a faster review. I think, for the most part, Taskmaster keeps up the same level of quality as the first issue. You got basically the same art, same fighting. Well, what I mean by the same fighting is fighting's continuing, I guess you can say. And they're bringing in yet another one of those assassin-type guilds, or like the other ones in the first issue. And they're basically continuing on the quest of Taskmaster and the Waitress are trying to figure out where his lost memories are and trying to prove his innocence, I guess you can say. So this way he can get the bounty removed from him and the Waitress, since all these guilds or all these assassins believe that the Waitress has an intel that the Taskmaster passed from her. One thing that I really liked about this issue is it didn't necessarily fall into the sophomore slump, where they kind of just putted around a little bit. Granted, they still had another interaction with a bunch of killers. At least what they did do was they planted some seeds to move things forward, and I really, really appreciated that. Now, there's a couple moments where there's one moment where I was like, something doesn't look right here, and then all of a sudden, then everything's confirmed by the very last page, and I really do think that it's actually taken a nice turn, so I'm really curious to see now where this is going to go, and my interest has been piqued a lot for this title. I'm really glad I picked this up. If you are thinking about getting it, I think I'd probably get it now, and then, because since the first issue is probably still going to be available, once you go to the third issue, then that first one's going to be harder to find. And like I said, so far it's entertaining. I think one thing I'm afraid of is it's going to get boring in the sense of the Taskmaster. There's going to be a lot of pages of him going, let's see, who am I, where am I, what did I do, type of a thing. And as long as they can refrain from that as much, then I think this will be a good series. Now, onto Uncanny X-Force. This is definitely my pick of the week for sure. Out of all the books I got, this really entertained me a lot. If you remember, at the end of Second Coming, Cyclops went to Wolverine and said, we're dismantling X-Force, and Wolverine goes, sure, no problem, and then he goes through the door, and he has his new covert ops team. And this definitely does not disappoint. The art is really good, the way the colors are really good. I mean, I love the detailing and the mask, everything is just, it's wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Now, the basic premise for this movie is Archangel Warren hires Deadpool to look for somebody, and this is where Deadpool finds the person that he's been hired to look for. Now, I don't want to ruin the villain, but there's clues pretty early. I mean, pretty much, you can figure it out who it is pretty quick into the series. The issue. But I'm really curious to see how this team is going to handle the villain. They don't have a lot of the power, the power heavy hitters that would normally be required to take this villain down. But on the plus side, these guys are all killers. They're all lethal, and they'll go for the kill rather than the knockout. Another thing I really liked about this is, Deadpool has a very strong personality, and he can pretty much dominate a team based on the amount of dialogue he's going to have, his wit and things like that. So one thing I did like is they gave Deadpool his moment to shine at the beginning, then they go into the X teams, and then it goes to the end type thing. So it gives him and Deadpool fans their 5 minutes of fame, I guess you can say. At the very end of the book, there's a little extra X-Force information type thing, in case people aren't up to speed type thing. This is definitely going back to an older plot line, and I think depending on how they end it, this is either going to end with a bang, or you know, it's going to leave a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm kind of hoping it's going to end well. Overall, I said this is definitely, if you haven't picked this up, this is the title to pick up for at least the Marvel titles this week, and pretty much the DC ones, I think, because for the most part it was a pretty bad week, I guess you can say. If you have any comments or questions, just let me know. Rate the video up or down to let me know what you think. If you did pick up X-Force, tell me, what did you think? Did you like this better than the previous version of X-Force? Personally, I like this version a lot better. I don't know why. I mean, the other one was, I like the action, I like the art, but there's something about this issue, this team, this lineup, something about this that just works for me. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more reviews up later.